Moorish Law and History class, week 1. It's week 1. Chief Ronald Gary Bay will do the Moorish American prayer. Yes, Lord. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do the Moorish American prayer. As we stand at a 45-degree angle. Arms extended at a 45-degree angle. 5 on the left and 2 on the right, and repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam. This is our first week of Moorish Law and History class. What we're going to do, basically go back to the lessons of Prophet Drew Ali. And the basic lesson plan would be dealing with the land. Chapter 47 of the Holy Quran, Circle 7, which is page on page 64. This is called the Fee Simple Absolute Deed. Chapter 47, the Egypt capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. Let's discuss that. Because a lot of people don't realize that we indigenous to this land. And these tapes are for people who first come into the Moorish Science Temple. They want to be more basic than anything else. And then when they understand that the Prophet himself had conveyed all the land in the northwest, southwest, and Mexican territories. And you say, how did he do so? Well, he did so by conveying the property after the land mandate was given to the Prophet in Havana, Cuba in 1928. So chapter 47 of the Circle 7, we created the Fee Simple Absolute Deed. This is how we own the land. This is week 1 of the Moorish Law and History class. What is called Fee Simple Simple Absolute This is a Fee Simple Absolute Deed. Chapter 47, it ties back into the vast estate express trust that the Prophet left. Now the vast estate express trust, or the title to the vast estate, is document number 10-10-5-905, book 521, page 579. Cook County Recorder Deeds, Cook County Recorder of Deeds have this in their possession.
you can get a certified copy of this affidavit. It's based on Heard Smith Revised Statute Law. When they recorded this document number, it was recorded what is called torrents, the torrent system. In 1928, county recorder was recording under the torrents system. It's how they register land. It's spelled T-O, I'll spell it out, T-O-R-R-E-N-S. The torrent system. This torrent system is the way that they register land, and they did it by meets and bounds, not by sub-districts, blocks, lots. That's the way the fiction do it. The way that land was originally described, lawfully described, was through meets and bounds. So, meets and bounds. Now let's go to chapter 47 and see if we're reading the deed or not.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
The number 521, page 57, that's the libel number.
Huh?
Is that the libel number?
Well, that's the recording when at that time when he recorded.
Yeah, that number is called a libel number.
Okay. Well, libel also means some type of document to hurt you or destroy you. You know what that?
No. The libel number that a property is registered under creates the liberation for that property.
Okay.
So before they had lot and blocks, or the way they recorded it now, they had a libel number, so they kept those old pages, and that's the page for the recording of that document. But that's the libel number, which takes it back to its original state before they created the I'm trying to think what they call it.
When they created the admiralty system.
I mean, the way they what do you call that? Can't think of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I understand. But I'm saying, you're right. This is where the book 521, page 579.
It's a libel number.
Right, and it meets and bounds is the way they describe what property. Right, the torrent system. Say right here, now, chapter 47, I believe, has 17 verses. And it says here, excuse me, the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Now that's verse 1. You got to understand the land of Canaan was north, and it's called Canada today. It said, 2, the old man Cush and his family were the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. 3, his father Ham and his family were second. Then came from the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of a Maxim, and the first true and divine name of Africa divided the land between the father and the son. 3. 4. The dominion of Cush, northeast, southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. That's a meets and bounds. In later years, many of the brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. 6, the Moabites, and from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit of northwest Africa, and they were the founders and the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire with their Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land seeking new homes. Now, Let me see, go to verse 7. The dominion and inhabitation extended from the northeast and southwest of Africa across the great Atlantis, even unto the present north, south, central America, and also Mexico. and Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. Right there was verse 7 was meets and bounds describing what is today the fee simple absolute deed of the Moroccans who held the northwest and southwest, northeast, southeast, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest of Mexican territories, which is most of the planet right to this day. Now, this is part of a trust document. It's part of the vast estate express trust. So he's expressing the property that's scheduled into the vast estate express trust. He's describing the property. Whatever on that property, minerals, land, dirt, oil, or any type of resource, is owners of those he had named as the heirs, and also the heirs of the trust. Who are the heirs of the trust? Who? What I'm saying, describing who? Okay. What I'm saying, who he described was the descendants. He gave them some names. The eels and babes. The eels and babes. He described. Now, we go to verse 8. The prophet gives a condition that you must follow to receive the benefit. If you're a beneficiary of this trust, there are conditions of this trust that you must follow. Let's find out what he required for us to do. Now, we say we're the true possessors of the Northwest and Mexican territories, and we tell the European this when we fight over some property. Well, let's find out if we are. It says, verse 8, the river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. But let's stop right there. Egypt in the east. Must be another Egypt of the west. Abraham Lincoln said the Egypt of the west in the compensated proclamation when he gave back the Moors their land. Not only that, in the compensated proclamation, he talks about the monies that they're supposed to receive in the compensated proclamation. There were 4 proclamations. But right here it says, surrounding kingdoms. Also, Niger River was dreaded by the great Pharaoh Egypt in those ancient days for trade. And it extends eastward and from the river Nile, westward across the great Atlantic, and it was used for trade and transportation. Verse 9, according to the true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa, we and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. So, prophet said, now, no Negro, no black, no African American, no buck dancing, smiley face Negro could be a part of this trust, could be a beneficiary of this land. If they are considered those, then they cannot have what is given in from verses 1 through 7. They cannot have that, because he's giving the conditions right here. He said, read it over, verse 9. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, colored race attached to the human family, or Christian Negro. Because all the inhabitants of Africa, we are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. Verse 10. What are your ancient forefathers? What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without a doubt or contradiction. So if they were Moors, then there's no doubt in our mind to this day that we are Moors. That we tend to take on our ancient forefathers' name, eels or babes. Now, It says here, verse